Hey everyone, we are Bean and Bagel. We are a married couple from the Midwest in the US. I'm from Michigan. She's from Minnesota. Together we normally talk about food and drinks and things that you consume on our channel. But today we're continuing our series in the book, The Us Journal. And we are continuing on page 17, where you go through a few characteristics and you rate what you want in your partner from 1 to 10. So the first one that we're doing is optimism. So from 1 to 10.
Okay. I think I'm going to say probably like a 7. Because I think you want somebody that is able to look at the positive in life, but it would also be annoying if someone was like at a 10 and they were just like, life is great. And you're like, but this is really hard. And they were like kind of always talking like that all the time about how great everything is. Like that's what I picture when I think of like somebody that's a 10. So I think a 7 is like fair because it's like, okay, you're not like on the extreme, but you're still positive. So that's how I would say. What you think?
Well, I said, I think a 6. I believe all the same things that she just said. You don't want someone that's kind of blinded by reality, but you don't want someone so stuck in reality that they have no positive outlook. But I favor the 6 because I kind of like someone who's a little bit more grounded. And that's not to say you can't be grounded in optimism, because I think optimism can be a reality. I just think the world around us isn't so positive that you kind of have to be prepared for it in a way instead of blinded by it or overlooking it, if that makes sense. So that's why I landed on a 6.
Yeah, you married somebody named Hope.
I know, but that helps me too, though.
I just thought that was funny. Like, it would have been funnier if you rated it like a 10 and then you had a wife named Hope.
That's true. That would have been fitting.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
The next one that we're going to do is dependability. So from 1 to 10, what do you rate it?
I think I would rate dependability a 10. Because I just feel like your partner is the person that you should be able to count on the most in life. And, like, if you don't have that, like, what do you have? Because there's not, like, that trust. Like, if you're wondering, like, are they gonna, like, show up? Or, like, are they gonna be the person that I need them to be in this, like, situation? Like, I just think that would be very hard to like build on. So I think dependability is huge for me personally.
I landed on a 9 because it kind of ties into, if you've watched some of our previous videos, some of these characteristics I believe are kind of my responsibility to get that person to a 10. Because if I'm not that kind of a person, then why would they waste their time? So that's why I say a 9.
That makes sense. And I think when I say a 10, it's like, obviously we're all human and we're gonna screw up, but like, what is the heart of the person and who they are, and like, are they at a 10 like emotionally, I guess. So yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
The next one is patience.
Well, I think patience is super important in life. I think that because we all make mistakes and we all like have the things that just can get under our skin, I would say patience is a 9 for me. I think that I would want somebody who's very patient and kind of has a slow fuse, I guess, in many ways, but I don't think it's realistic to say a 10 because no one can be super patient all the time in every situation. So I think a 9 is like fair, because there's also situations where like you shouldn't tolerate things and you shouldn't be patient about them. So I think a 9 is fair.
Well, I landed on an 8. I obviously don't want someone who's super impatient because that would be hard to live with for me. On the other side, I want a 10. I want someone who's really patient. But then I had to kind of think, like, can I live with a 10? Like, because this is about me rating my partner and what I can live with. So I'm thinking I can live with an 8. Because, and I could live with a 9 too, because obviously I'm married to her. 8 and 9, you know, they're not too far apart. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I say that is because I want someone who is patient enough to think through things, but not the type of person that's like, you know, you ask them something and then they say, I'll pray about it, and then they never get back to you. Or someone who has so much hesitation about something that it's not really patience, it's hesitation. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Good. And our last one that we're going to do today is physical attractiveness.
So, because it says physical attractiveness and not just attractiveness, I would rate it a 7 because for me, I think attraction is more than physical. And there's like a whole lot of people that like I've seen in my life, like, wow, they're so physically attractive, but like who they are as a person is like so deeply unattractive to me. Like, so I think obviously like you need a physical attraction for like, you know, to have that beginning of a relationship. Like obviously that's important, but I am not someone who rates that like at a 10 because man, there's just so many more things that like make someone attractive than just their physical appearance for me. So
I agree with that, but I said an 8, so I don't totally agree. It's probably the difference between a man and a woman. What goes through my mind when I think of physical attractiveness is every person, I mean, I can't speak for every person, but my assumption is most people, what we own, we want to be able to like to look at it. So if it's a house, if it's a car, if it's a spouse, we want to be able to like what we're
own your spouse, mister.
Okay, well, I don't mean own, but like what is in our lives, like we want to be able to like to look at it. So I landed on an 8 because I don't need a supermodel, and I don't think that I want a 1 because nobody wants a 1. And then the other part is I really believe that like there's only about 30 some odd years of your peak physical attractiveness, you know, from like 0 to I don't know 35 or something. Like you're probably at your peak ability to like be attractive the most. So I already know that I'm gonna fade, you know what I mean? My peak physical attractiveness will fade, so will my partners. So like I need to be aware
because we're both past 35.
We're past our peak.
Okay.
And so the other thing that comes into my mind is like the unknown. So like what if there's a car accident? What if there's a stroke? What if there's something that occurs that affects my partner's physical attractiveness? You know what I mean? Like it's not fair for me to expect a 10 all the time. And even when I'm like 75, it's probably not even fair of me to expect an 8. So I don't know, but that's how I landed on 8. That's a long explanation, but
oh, that makes sense. I mean, I kind of figured like there is a difference between men and women with that, you know, so I kind of figured yours would be a little higher than mine.
All right, so what do you think of these? Do you have an opinion on them? Put your comments down below if you're interested in commenting on it. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video when we close out the partner qualities portion of this series. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Bye.